Welcome. This is MoneyHeart, where we explore the emotional side of money. I'm Camille Diaz, and today we're discussing Sales Made Easy. My guest is Kevin Hayler. He's the founder and CEO of Sales Made Easy. Kevin, welcome to MoneyHeart.
Thank you, Camille. Great to be here. Lovely to see you again.
Thank you. Good to see you too. And I am excited to have you on the show and talk about this concept of sales. How do people usually feel when they hear that word or think of a salesperson?
Oh, I think you've just said it perfectly yourself. When you think of a salesperson, everybody goes, no, don't sell to me. They think in the UK, double glazing, rest of the world, you think secondhand car salesman. If you said the word salesman, do you trust them? No.
Usually no.
No, it's no one response. When you think about sales, people say sales is a dirty word. They hate it. You know, if you're in business, you're a business owner, you've got to sell. No, I don't want to sell. I'm too scared to sell. I don't want to upset people. It's all full of negative connotation, sales. It really is. You see them, the passion's coming through already, talking about sales.
And I like that I don't want to sell. I don't want to upset people. What is up with this? Do we feel like, because if you're a business owner, how do you make any money if you didn't sell anything?
It's a great question. And there lies the dilemma. If you're in business, and I know the audience is mostly business owners here, you've got to sell. And in business, you're probably selling every day, all day, because you have to. If you don't sell, you're not going to get revenue in. But actually, people think sales is this hard-nosed, pushing yourself on somebody, forcing people to buy something, or so you can sell it to them, and they don't really want it. And people shy away from that. They don't want to put pressure on people. They don't want to force people to buy something they don't want. And that's what we're trying to do at Sales Made Easy, is change this perception of sales, which is, it's global. You know, everybody says the same thing. And it has a real stigma attached to it. You know, how many salespeople do you know that go out and say, I'm proud I'm a salesman?
Oh, yeah, no. In fact, I know most people who try to say it in any other way possible, like I educate people, or I, help people, or something along those lines, and avoid saying that they're a salesperson.
They'll end up talking about the job and the product and everything, apart from saying I'm actually a salesperson.
Right.
You know, but sales actually is a highly skilled profession. But the problem is it's tainted by the people that do sales or historically have done sales. As I said, certain trade sectors, secondhand car dealerships, double glazing salesmen, they all have a stigma attached to them. And it's very much pushing product on and forcing people and conning people at times into spending money on something they don't really want. And that's what we're trying to change, because sales absolutely is not that. It really isn't.
Yeah, not the con, not try to get you to buy 3 of something that you don't need and will never use.
No.
What is sales really?
Sales, in simplistic terms, is solving a problem. It's if you've got a problem, a pain, something that's not right, something missing, something that's not working, or you're looking for, again, the next best thing, the next iPhone, the next best television, car, or whatever it's going to be. If you can't work it out yourself, through online, which a lot of people do nowadays, you might want some guidance from somebody to help you make the choice that's right for you. You want guidance, you want help, you want support. That's what sales is. Sales, I mean, we actually say to people, we're a sales company, we're called Sales Made Easy. What's the first thing we say? Don't sell. No, don't sell.
Oh, you say don't sell. Yeah.
Don't sell.
Yeah.
Make it easy for customers to buy from you. And as a salesperson, as a business owner, if you position yourself as an expert, as a guide, you're there to help people. You're there to understand your customer. Do they have a problem? A genuine problem? What is that problem? Do they want something better? What do they want? What are they looking for? Is what you do something that can solve that problem? If so, explain what you've got and explain how you can help your customer and solve their problem.
Yeah.
That at a headline level is sales.
I love that you say that, because I am thinking of, times that I've had a sales experience that I didn't enjoy. And the main thing that happened was I went in looking to have a problem solved, and I requested help and I didn't get help. I got pressure and more information that didn't answer questions I was asking, or, confused by a whole bunch of supposed deals that I don't think were deals. I did want a problem solved and it wasn't solved. And when I think of the positive sales experiences I've had, it's ones where I went in and I said, I don't know how to do this, I need help. And they said, okay, how can we help? What can we do to make this better? Answered the questions I wanted answered, and then solved the problem, just like you said.
Nobody wants to be sold to.
Right.
But human beings, generally, we like to buy. Let me give you a very, very simplistic example of this. And certainly in the UK, where I'm from, if you walk into a retail store, typically the moment you walk through the door, the assistant's on you. Can I help you?
That is not unique to the UK. That is everywhere.
So it's worldwide then, yeah?
Oh yeah, we got that here too.
So when that happens to you, what's your reaction? Let me just see if this works.
What's
your reaction?
Well, now that I've done more sales, sometimes I'm a little more blunt with them, and I tell them the truth of, what I want, what I'm here, and how they could actually maybe make a sale with me. But in the past, I was very much like, just looking, thanks, and run.
There you go. And that's the normal response. You walk through the door, they come up to you, can I help you, sir? And it's like, no, thank you, I'm just browsing. And look where my hand is straight away. Back off.
Yep, we've got the up, stop, go away. Yeah.
Out of my space, I'm just here to look. Mm-hmm. And the fact is, I don't actually, of course I need help, but I don't want the pressure of literally the moment I walk through the door.
Right.
What we say, and we teach buying atmosphere, not selling atmosphere. That's selling atmosphere. Buying atmosphere. You walk through the door, and we say to a shop assistant along the lines of, as they come in, greet me. Good afternoon, sir. Welcome. Obviously, you're here to have a look around. If you need any help, my name's Kevin, and I'm over here. Just give me a shout.
Perfect.
So you acknowledge when you come in, and they're there. They're there to help you. But they say, I'm not going to be in your face. I'm going to be over there. But if you need me, please just give me a shout, and I'll come and help you.
Yeah. Really nice. So much better. I would love that. Can you come teach here too? Because that would be great.
Well, we'll talk about that in a minute, because when we go live with the next phase of our business, we're teaching everywhere. We can definitely.
And that would be such a nice welcome of, I know you're just here to look, because that's what we all really are. I just want to go get an idea first. And I may not even know what my questions are yet. But I don't need you to hide behind a plant while I look and stalk me. I just need to know where you are when I'm ready to ask a question.
You got it. And when you're browsing around a shop, if they are over there, but they're watching you, how uncomfortable is that? It's like, I'm going to go now. I don't need this pressure. And that's when it works. It's the pressure they put on you. Right. None of us want that. None of us.
No, not at all. I don't want any pressure in the sales process. I just want to, have someone answer the questions and let me make a decision. So, yeah. Okay,
exactly.
This is fabulous.
Exactly.
Yeah. So when you are selling, we've created this comfortable environment. The next place where it usually gets sticky is when we get to the price. Because maybe I have a budget and you know what it costs, and I don't know what it costs, and I don't know if it fits in my budget, and it gets all weird and awkward with this whole negotiating, discounting thing. What are your tips on that, or what do you teach on that?
You see, that sounds like such an easy question, and
no, it's not.
That'll probably need about 3 podcasts to answer it properly for you.
Right.
There's not a simple answer. The first thing I'll start by saying that if you're a business owner, if you sell on price and you discount, you'll win a customer that will then you will lose on price at the same time. If they're only buying from you on price, they will leave you on price.
Right.
Okay. Therefore, I'd strongly recommend do not sell on price. And what I mean by that is, don't lead with the price. Don't lead with then discounting on it and go out and say, we're the cheapest, therefore come and buy from us. Mm-hmm. You commoditize yourself, and you're not building relationships with people. You've got to, and it sounds easy, doesn't it? You've got to be able to sell on value. Now, within that, we recognize that price is part of the conversation. Of course, it's part of potentially negotiation. But if you sell correctly, if you created an environment where customers want to buy from you, you're building relationships and you're building trust first and foremost. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to come in and say, hey, Camille, nice to see you. Right, you can have our product and I'm going to discount it by 50%. Do you want it? I'm actually going to say, who are you? Tell me a little bit about yourself. Tell me what problem you've got at the moment. And then I'll start to talk about who we are, how we think we can help you, what the solution might look like.
Mhm.
And I'm not touching price yet. And it's all about, right, can I solve the problem you have?
Right.
Is it something that's going to work for you? But within that, and there's several layers to this, as I'm understanding what problem you have or what gain you want, I don't just say, well, okay, I'm missing this and I need this. No, it's right. What do you mean by that? And you start to probe and probe and probe. And you really want to get to the impact of that problem on you as a business owner or on you as a person.
Mhm.
It's like, yeah, by my iPhone not working, forgive me, I'm talking a brand now, but if by my iPhone, it's an old iPhone 6 or 7, the battery goes within about 2 hours. It's got a cracked screen. Do you know what? I can't get on Facebook during the day. I can't make the calls I want. I'm out and about for the whole day and the phone's dead after 3 hours. This is so frustrating.
Mhm.
If you can get to that, and I turn around and say, well, actually, do you know what, Camille? I can solve that problem for you completely. You know, I can sort a phone out for you whereby the battery will last all day. You won't get that frustration at all. You can access Facebook whenever you need it. Your calls can come through. You can pick up work emails. Is that something you're looking for?
Yep.
The answer is going to be yes.
Right. Right.
Okay.
So really drilling down to the root problem and what it is that person needs, why they came in the first place. I'm guessing they don't tell you that at the beginning. I'm guessing most people just ask, how much is it? And try to get that information out of you without disclosing anything about what's important to them.
Yes. And the lazy salespeople or salespeople without the confidence will just answer the question. Oh, I'm looking for a phone. How much are they? Oh, they are $100, for example. Right. If you came and said, I'm looking for a phone, how much are they? So, okay, well, we have a whole range of different prices. You know, any one of them could be right for you, but I can't answer that question because I don't actually know what you're looking for at the moment, Camille. You know, right. What I'd love to do now, can I just sit down for 5 or 10 minutes and just understand what do you use your phone for? What have you got at the moment? What do you want from it? And just start a conversation from that. Yeah. We'll get to the price later.
Right, right. Because if I'm coming in for a phone for myself and I'm planning to run my whole business from my phone while I'm traveling, that might be one phone versus I'm coming in for a phone for my kid and I just want them to be able to call me when practice is over so I know to go pick them up. You know, yeah. Totally different type of phone. Don't totally. Need all the bells and whistles.
No, and that's the point. It's like, you know, you wouldn't sell a top of the range phone if you're going to come in and just get a phone, the first phone for your 10, 11-year-old child or whatever age they are. Right. You wouldn't do that. A poor salesman would do that. But if they did that and sold you an expensive phone, would you go back there again?
No, I would figure out that was a terrible plan.
Exactly.
And I wouldn't send any friends either.
No. But the point is, if you actually take time to understand what your situation is, what you're looking for, mm-hmm. As I said, pain or gain is the big thing, and what the impact of that pain or gain is, then we can solve the problem really quickly. And, you know, even if it means it's a cheaper phone now, the aim is that you walk out of that store being really happy with the product you've got, the service you've had, and you think, yeah, they're good. They're really good. So when you next get your upgrade or another member of the family wants a phone or your friends want a phone, guess what? Who are you going to recommend?
Yep, we're going right back there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You see, never go for the quick buck, never go for the one-off sale. You're always looking for the multiple sales, repeat orders. Simplistically, build relationships with people, build trust with people. If you can do that in sales, guide people, do that, you won't go far wrong.
Yeah. I love that concept of looking past the first sale, looking past that initial, I got to get as much out of this first sale as I can, and building the relationship to get that long-term income that will come from a really happy client who wants to buy from you again and who wants to send all of their friends and colleagues to come shop with you as well. So that's fabulous. Yeah. And I guess when you really understand that, you can reprocess how you're approaching this. Because I think that's kind of hard for new salespeople. You know, I need to pay rent, I need to buy food, that type of thing. Maybe we get stuck a little bit as a new salesperson versus when you have that other long-term view, you can kind of change your method. And I think people feel that when you come in.
And it's very easy to feel like that. You know, that's absolutely normal. And anybody watching this, they're feeling, I've got to make the sale, I've got to make money, I've got to pay the rent this month. I get it. That pressure overhanging you is horrible. It really is. Yeah. But I still go back to, if you do the sale the right way. Everything we've just talked about.
Right.
And it might mean at times that you don't sell a $100 phone, you sell a $50 phone, but that's the right phone. And that's a happy customer. That customer will come back. They will tell other people, you'll get more repeat business from it. So long term, you'll make more money.
Right.
But the salesperson then has to, they can take control of their own destiny. Because in the document we put together, the 7 sales foundations, the foundation number 1 was activity, activity, activity. The salesperson can't just sit there, or the business owner can't just sit there and say, right, okay, where are my customers then? Are they going to come in and talk to me?
You mean that doesn't work? You can't just hang up a sign and put some arrows towards your door and people will flood in?
No, it wouldn't be wonderful if that did happen. No, you've got to go out and make these things happen. You got to connect with people, you've got to communicate with people, social media, over the phone, face to face, whichever way you do it. It comes back to the activity is directly within your control. You decide, we decide how much activity we do. We decide how many phone calls we make today, how many posts we make today, how many people we connect with. That's entirely our choice, nobody else. That determines success. Because even if you sell a cheaper phone and make less commission, yeah, fine. You do that 20 times a day, you're going to do okay. Right. And that's what I mean by the activity. It's having conversations. It's not being afraid to have the proactive conversation, to call somebody, to stay in touch with people. And it's knowing that the level of activity, that's where sales starts. And that comes directly from the business owner or from the salesperson. It's under their control, nobody else's.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Control if somebody buys or not.
No, you
ultimately
can't.
You could give them all of the perfect service and solve their problem completely, and they still don't buy the thing. And that has nothing to do with you, but who you talk to, how many people, all of that activity is under your control. What else is in your 7 foundations to success? I love this.
We've covered a number of them already, actually, funny enough. So the first, number 1 is activity. As I said, that's the one part you can control. Right. Know your numbers as well, within the activity. If you know that you get 1 sale for every 10 people you talk to, well, it's very simple. If you want 2 sales, you've got to talk to 20 people. If you want 3 sales, you've got to talk to 30 people.
Right.
Start to know your own numbers within the business. The second one is to engage. Don't sell. Build relationships. Engage. Question. Understand. Empathy. Relate. Guess what, salespeople, business owners? It's not all about you.
What?
In fact, actually, customers don't really care that much about you. Sorry.
Yep.
You might think you're the greatest thing, and you might well be. This is not personal. But a customer talking to you, all they want to know is, are you credible? Can I trust you? And then how are you going to solve my problem?
Right.
Shock. Okay, so just remember that. So when you're talking to somebody, just empathy, eye contact, listen, engage, smile, just start to build a relationship. Sales come from relationships. People buy from people. People buy from people they like and trust. It's a cliche. It's been there for years. Guess what? It hasn't changed.
Still true. Yeah.
So to build the relationships. And number 2 is engage. Number 3, we've touched on it, is question people. Is learn how to question and understand. As I have been with you, giving you a couple of examples of probing questions, get to the impact. What's the real deal? Where are you really at? What phone do you want? Why? What's good about your previous one? What do you want from the new one? Really question. People actually, human nature is that we like to talk. As a business owner, as a salesperson, you need to question and listen, because we teach people how to question, the usual open questions, closed questions, cluster questions, whatever it's going to be. Question, then we use a phrase, SUAL, S-U-A-L, shut up and listen.
And listen, yes.
There's a ruder one, which I won't say on the podcast, but
Sounds good.
Shut up and listen. And it's just start to question people. Number 4 is listen. See how it flows. Yep. 4th foundation is listen. Human beings are absolutely rubbish at listening. We really are. Anybody watching this podcast at the moment, I'm going to shut up in a minute because I'm talking way too much. But I can guarantee that as you're listening to this, your mind's already wandered off onto different things. You're thinking about what you're going to eat. You're thinking about something else. You've been distracted and you come back, because I've just now said, please come back. Human nature is you drift off and wander off. And when you're in a conversation with somebody, it's very easy to do that. As a business owner, you've got to work hard at focusing on the person, listen to them, show them you're listening. so they
Now,
can see that you're
interesting
listening.
that you say that, because when you're on the sales business owner side of it, it's difficult to listen. But when you look at it from the customer side, you don't fall asleep when you're talking. So the more you let them talk, the better their experience is, because they're getting to do all of the talking and they're being hopefully listened to.
100%. Camille, when you've been in business or out socially and you come across somebody that you start to have a conversation with and they then just start talking at you. Have you come across a situation like that?
It has happened. I
And
won't
you're there
say who it
5 or
was
10
with,
minutes.
but it has
No,
happened.
I don't want you to, but 5 or 10 minutes later, they're still talking. I say at you, not with you. They're talking at you.
Right.
How are you paying attention after a couple of minutes, after 2 or 3 minutes?
Probably
Almost certainly
it's hard.
not.
I'm trying hard. Let's put it that way. I'm struggling. I'm really trying, but
Yeah,
I confess I've probably wandered.
exactly. And that's the
Yeah.
point. I talk about question, I talk about listening. It shouldn't be, right, I'm going to question you for half an hour, then you're going to listen to me for half. No, it's the two go together. You question, you listen, you understand at the same time. It's like we're having a two-way conversation. It's not all about one person. So listening is number 4. Number 5, very simply, know your stuff.
Yeah.
If you're a business owner or a salesperson, if you don't know your product, you don't know your service, what are you doing? Know your stuff. Know it inside out. Know your product. Know the market. Know the industry. Know the trends. Know a little bit about the economy. Know what's going on around the whole thing, so you can have a professional, proper conversation. You know what's happening. Yeah. You then give yourself authority, by which you're qualified to guide your customer because you know everything. Number 6 is solve their problem. Right. Pure and simple. I don't need to explain that too much. If you can't solve the problem, what are you doing? And number 7, foundation, is just do it. Do the first 6, day in, day out, consistently. Just keep on doing it.
Yeah. That consistency is huge. People feel like, well, I don't know if we really think this, or if it's just the way we sort of get talked into some sales positions. Just do this thing and it'll be amazing and you'll make 6 figures in the first 30 days or something like that. So you think that this is going to happen, not realizing that because sales is a relationship building process, how fast are you really going to build quality relationships? It's probably going to take a little bit, and it'll probably take a while for that person who bought the $50 item to go back, tell their friends, need a second one. It's gonna build over time. So I love that of being consistent, because if you give up after 2 weeks, of course nothing, you didn't get any results.
No. You got to build pipelines of people. You got to build relationships. You're right. Sales, for the majority of products and services, is not a short-term thing. It can be, of course, it can be. Being in a grocery store or something along those lines, but we're not talking about that. If you're talking to business owners here, you're selling your products, your services, you want repeat business. You don't want to, if you've got to just get a new customer every single day, that's hard work. You want to win a customer and then to have repeat business from them and build a relationship with them, and as they grow as a customer, you grow as a business, fantastic, the relationship should grow. That's got to be the aim, isn't it?
Right.
Of what you're doing. That's a smart way of working.
It is the smart way, because you're not having that initial sale, like you said, that's the hard work. That's really providing a sale again for a person who already knows, likes, and trusts you, and walks in knowing that you can help them because you helped them last time. That's an easy sale. As long as you have what they need, you're done.
It becomes order taking after a while, because you hit the word there, they trust you.
Right.
They've worked with you, they've had the products and service, they've been well looked after, they trust you. If ever they want to phone, we're following the story through, if ever they want to phone again, where are they going to go? They're going to come back, because they know they're going to get well looked after.
Exactly.
So within all of this, does it feel like sales? Does it feel like we're talking about sales?
It really doesn't. This feels like we're just talking about treating people well and solving problems, which sounds kind of like fun. But
that's what this is all about. And that's why I say to people, don't be afraid of sales. The way we're talking at the moment, is it pushy? Do we sound like we're pushing ourselves on customers? No. But we make it easy for our customers to buy from us. And that's what the smart salespeople do. And that's what the smart business owners do. I'm a business owner myself and have been for many, many years. I get it. Do the 7 core habits and do them consistently. and you'll start to win more and more business. They'll come to you.
Mhm.
And they want to come to you. They want to buy from you and they want to work with you.
Right. Yeah, they will choose you over other options. Yeah. So
Now,
go ahead.
No. I was going to take it back to the money question, because you asked me right at the beginning, how do you stop the discounting and selling on price? And
Yes.
That's the answer. That's how you move away from selling on price. I get it. At times, somebody's going to say, no, it's just all about the price. That's fine. As a business owner, you then have a decision to make. Do I discount and sell on price? Or do I say, thank you, you're not the customer I want? Because that's equally okay to do. But by doing the rest, relationships, trust, the conversations move away from price. You're selling on value. They're buying you. They're buying the right product, the right service from the right person.
Yes.
And price might be part of the conversation, but it's not a big part of the conversation. It's a much smaller part.
Yeah. Now we're just looking at what their budget is and what price they can realistically do. Because at some point, somebody might go, oh, that's really just too expensive, even though I really want it. And so then they don't buy.
But guess what? The third part, as you're questioning and understanding them, you would have said, and what budget are you looking for?
Right.
That's one of your questions. You establish what budget they've got, what they can afford, what they can't afford, whereabouts they are. Then you might push a little bit with the solution, but ultimately you know where you've got to be on the price.
Mm-hmm. And if you're not, you're not. Maybe later. They'll save up. If people really want your thing, they'll save up and come back.
Yeah, absolutely right. Absolutely. It's all good fun, isn't it? This selling, Mark.
It is. This is fun. So I have a little bit of a future thinking question for you.
Sure.
Once you've gotten this sort of figured out, I'm not going to say mastered because that takes, a lifetime maybe. But once you've gotten this figured out and you do have the sales coming in, what tips do you have for kind of managing your money or how you think about money? Because I know sometimes people sort of get freaked out. It works and they make sales and then they're like, oh, I don't know about this. And then maybe they don't do the activity consistently because they're not comfortable with the money coming in.
Yeah. Great question. About 2 or 3 questions in one there.
It was. Yes, that was a lot of questions.
No, that's perfectly okay. I'm just now thinking that I'm stalling for time, by the way, as I think of the answer.
That's fair.
That
it's okay. You want me to talk some more so you can think extra?
No, you're okay. It's a great question, the financial side of things, because entrepreneurs typically are very creative and they're fantastic at generating business, getting something going. And a lot of entrepreneurs are less adept at running the money side of things, the detail that sits behind it. And trust me, I've learned the hard way previously. Embrace the money. You, as an entrepreneur, and I'm probably preaching the converted to a fair degree here, you need to know every penny within your business, right? If you're buying something for A and selling it for B, good, because B should be higher than A. Obvious, isn't it?
Right.
And then it's just a multiple of how many of those margins you make. Know your margin. It's a multiple of how many of those you make. And can you sell enough of those to cover your expenses, make a profit and earn a living from it? If you don't know what your margin is for every product or service you sell, you're in trouble.
Yep.
Get to know your margins. And then get to know your fixed costs. What are your overheads within that business? And can you sell enough of those margins to cover your fixed costs?
Right.
If you can't, you're in trouble.
Yep.
If you're new, then that's fine. Give yourself a little bit of time to build the pipeline, to build the sales, to build the revenue coming through. But you need to see the trend going the right way. And if the trend's going the wrong way, then you may need to cut your losses sooner rather than later. But so I feel like I'm waffling.
No, I think that's actually really good, because that concept of knowing what your cost is, knowing what you want to make, seeing if you're actually heading towards hitting that, and then being willing to take an honest look at it. I think that's something that a lot of people don't want to do. They sort of just go, well, it'll work. It'll be fine. Oh, we'll get there. Yeah. And if you actually did the math, you would see it's never going to come together. And we need some drastic changes, whether it's a decreased cost, increased price, change techniques, switch industries, do a side thing from what you're already doing, specialize, whatever it is. But people get really trapped in that, no, I'm going to make this work, without actually doing what you just said of knowing what their numbers really are. I think that's huge.
There's a couple of comments I'd make around that as well. I learned probably about 8-9 years ago now to watch the cash in the business. To me, cash is king. As an entrepreneur in a growing business, it's all about cash. Of course, I need to make profit. If I'm making profits, fantastic. But you can make losses for a couple of months and still make a profit for the year. If you run out of cash, the day you run out of cash, you're gone. Your business is over.
Yep.
So I run a cash flow forecast. I actually run it's Excel, simple Excel spreadsheets. And I know all of my fixed costs, all of my overheads. I know when they're coming out. And I do a weekly cash flow.
Yeah.
So I know I can see I got X in the bank account. It's matched to the bank account. Excel spreadsheet. I've got the outgoings going out. Right. I know the bank balance is going to go down. When's my forecast revenue coming in? Is it covering everything? Am I going to go below the line? How am I going to cover that below the line?
Right.
And if you don't have the answers to that, then you're going to be in trouble. Burying your head in the sand or just turning around and say, it'll be okay, is an absolute recipe for disaster.
Yes.
You have no choice as an entrepreneur in particular. You've got to embrace money. You've got to enjoy dealing with money. You've got to know it. You've got to know every single penny in your business, what's coming in, what margins you're making, what the cash flow forecasts look like. You need to know that. If you don't, then sorry to say, you shouldn't be in business.
Yeah. Go work for someone else and do the piece that you like, whatever your best talent is. Don't try to be the entrepreneur who's doing also the money management piece if that's not your thing.
Yeah, because an entrepreneur, if it's a one-man business, you've got to do it yourself. If you're a slightly larger business, you'll probably have an accountant or financial people to help you out. But either way, as the owner, you need to know it.
Yes,
you need to know every single
penny. I stress that so much for people is that you can't hand it off to someone else and just check out.
No.
Great, have somebody else do it, but you still have to go and look and check in and go, okay, where did we end up this week? Or, this every 2 weeks or whatever schedule you need to do it. And okay, where are we? What came in, what went out, how's it going? Good. It might only be a 5-minute overview for you to check in because somebody else is doing all the nitty gritty. That's totally okay. But you can't just hire someone and walk away and not know what's happening. It's
to follow that on a little bit also, and to go back to the sales a little bit with the money and the margins scenario. You're running your own business. You get an opportunity to win a really big client, a really big piece of work or a large product sale, whatever it is. It's a decent sized contract for you. Mm-hmm. But because of the size of the contract, they're asking you to discount heavily on that. Now, what the temptation is for the vast majority of entrepreneurs, and we've all been there, so I'm not saying we've all done it. I get it. That's why I'm talking from experience. Yep. But the temptation is like, wow, look at the size of this deal. Look at the money we're going to make. Fantastic revenue, brilliant. We've got to do this. If I then turn around and said, fantastic, you're going to spend hours and days tendering and winning that business. You're then going to spend hours and days a month looking after that business, and you're going to earn $10 a month from it profit.
Right.
If I said to you $10 a month profit, how keen are you to do that deal now?
Yeah, might turn it down. Yeah.
You'd be better off turning it down because you'd lose a lot of other business, a lot of other stuff you're so distracted. And that's the key point. Whilst it's very tempting to go after the revenue in the business, know precisely what you're making from it and then make a judgment call. This is a huge customer. It's going to take a lot of looking after, and I'm making that much money.
Right.
However hard it is going to feel, you're better off not taking the client on board or keeping your price up there. Right. Because if you can get the margin better and you win the business, fantastic. If you don't win the business at that price, it's not worth winning. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's getting the confidence with your margins and your pricing.
Yeah, I think that's really insightful. And I love that you said confidence, because there are a lot of times when someone will come, especially if you have a particular product that you sell and someone, you normally sell them 1 or 2 at a time, maybe a group of 10 or 15. Okay, somebody orders 50, that's kind of big. And then someone comes in and wants 5,000.
Yeah.
That's a whole different scale of manufacturing that you probably have not been doing. And it's very tempting to want to take that. Oh, 5,000, fantastic. But they want, a 40% discount because of the bulk. And now, like you said, you've cut all of your profits. You have to spend all of the next 3 months making their order. It could totally crush your entire business if you did something like that. You could drown yourself with a situation like that.
Well, it can make or break your business. Mm-hmm. If you know the numbers and know your margins, you can make that decision, can't you?
Right.
And that's the point.
Yes, that's the point. If you really know, then you can make that decision well. If you can handle it, if you can't, if it's worth it, if it's not worth it. Yeah. I love that.
And that's where
confidence to say yes or no either way.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, that's fabulous. This has been wonderful. Tell us what you're most excited about right now. What's going on in your world?
Wow, the world's going to change for us. We're 2 years old as an organization. I've been in sales for longer than I care to remember. But we have the launch of our new sales community happening in February. We are hugely excited about. It's the first place that we've come across for salespeople and business owners worldwide. They can connect with us, connect with each other. There's a sales forum for questions, for general chat, webinars, podcasts, tips, guidance, the usual kind of stuff. But we're also running our sales programs. So foundation level all the way through to master level. There's 5 courses within that. That's fine. All online and virtual coaching with us. There's real coaching, one-to-one. Us with a group of 8 people. 2 things that are a game changer here within this community, though. Number 1, we're building a sales profile for every salesperson that comes into our community. So the more they engage, the more points they get. We profile them using DISC, so they have their own sales profile there. Every time they go through a training course, be it one of our marketplace ones or one of ours, they get the qualification on their sales profile, the scores in there. So they can start to build their sales profile. So it's good for them, so they can get a record of what they're doing. It's good for the business owner employing them, that they can see the improvement of that salesperson. And the real smart thing that we're doing, which we're so excited about, is we're actually then going to ask our salespeople to go out to their customers and get feedback. Biggest challenge with sales training previously is we can train people, no problem at all. The coaching and the one-to-one sessions and the group sessions help them start to implement some of the knowledge. But by getting their customers to feedback, it means there's a much greater chance of them taking on board everything and really putting it into action. So their customers will rate them. Think TripAdvisor for sales. And those ratings will also go onto that salesperson's profile. So as a business owner, if you employ salespeople, they'll be part of a community. They'll get better and better by being coached, and you'll then see your customers rating your salespeople, and you can see how good they really are in the real world. And hopefully over time, you should see an improvement in the scores. So that's what we're launching.
That's amazing. I love
coming
this
in February.
idea.
And the best thing about it, it's easy to follow. It's very accessible and affordable. We're going out at 2 subscription levels for all of that. At either £49, which is roughly $65, $70, or £129, which is around about $150, $160 per month per person. And then we'll go through all the sales programs. They become qualified, get the profile, get the ratings, and everything else.
That's excellent. I love this.
So that's what we're launching. So
I
we are
love the
hugely
idea
excited.
Of the feedback. Yes, you should be hugely excited. It's a huge project and really great. That concept of the feedback is excellent, because you lose the sale and you don't really know. I mean, once you're experienced, you do kind of know. You're like, oh yeah, I know what I did. But in the beginning, especially when you're learning and trying to build your skills, you don't know what you did wrong. You don't know where you lost them. You don't know if it was because you didn't present well, you didn't listen, you didn't solve their problem, or if it was that they lied to you about their budget and they really didn't have money. You don't know which one it was. So
no, that's right. That's right. But it's the ratings thing for me, because, we go right back to the beginning of our conversation here. Our BHAG, our 3HAG, our 3-year goal and 10-year goal is to change the world's perception of sales. We want sales to no longer be a dirty word. And we want the profession of being a salesperson one that your parents will be proud of.
Nice.
That's what we're going for. We're aiming high.
No pressure. That's fine. I think it's great. I look forward to the time when being a salesperson is one of the things that you ask young people, what do you want to be? And they say, I want to be a salesperson. That would be really fun.
So do I. That'd be amazing. Absolutely amazing. Yeah.
This has been fabulous. Thank you, Kevin, for joining.
It's been fun. It's been good.
I really loved it. Yes. If you want to download the PDF, Kevin's 7 Sales Foundations, just visit his website, salesmadeeasy.sale. To get in touch with Kevin, you can email him at kevin@salesmadeeasy.sale or find him on LinkedIn. Thank you as well to all of our listeners and viewers. I'm your host, Camille Diaz. I'm a business optimization coach, financial educator, author, and speaker, and I do some selling. You can contact me and find out what I'm up to through my website, CamilleDiaz.com, and follow me on social media at Cam Unfiltered. Be sure to follow MoneyHeart at MoneyHeart Show, and our website is MoneyHeartShow.com. Kevin, would you like to share today's money mantra?
Yeah, no, absolutely. The money mantra for me, it comes. I wish I could have created it myself. I didn't. I stole it from Harv T. Eker, who wrote the book about the millionaire mindset, and I now religiously follow this. And it's every penny I earn, I put 20% of it straight into a savings account. If I earn $1, 20 cents goes into a savings account. If you do that every single time without fail into a separate account, you'd be amazed how quickly those savings build. And 20%, you won't believe it, but you don't miss it. And it's just 20% of every dollar, every penny, every cent you earn into a savings account. Keep it separate and leave it and watch it build.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
That's my money mantra. I follow it religiously. It's amazing how it's worked.
Yes, it works wonderfully well. All you have to do is do it. And as soon as you get used to that, not having that 20%, like you said, you really don't miss it. It's just fine. Not a big deal.
Yeah, exactly.
Lovely. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. It's been a lot of fun.